Hi syndicates, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to tell you guys about the top mistakes I see people making when creating their TikTok videos or their IG Reels, any short form video platform basically. If you are creating content or interested in creating content and growing a following, then this is the best place for you to be. If you're new here, hi, my name is Cindy. I'm a beauty influencer coach and I'm also a full-time content creator. And on TikTok, I've been able to amass a following of over 1 million followers within about 3 months time. So I'm here to kind of give you the DL, the down low, and all the secrets of how I kind of got from A to Z. If you haven't checked out my other video about which type of video content to create in order to have a successful or a potentially viral video, then make sure to do that before you watch the rest of this video. But if you're interested in knowing the top mistakes that people do make when trying to grow their account on TikTok with video, then keep on watching. Now, the first thing is kind of just a pet peeve of mine, and that is the act of lip syncing. So lip syncing became very popularized on TikTok, especially in the makeup community, but at first it was kind of used for, you know, audios that kind of tell a story. For example, you would be doing something in the video and then the audio would say, "No, I know," or something. And then if you lip sync to that, it kind of finished or completed a reaction that was happening in the video. But now a lot of people are just using trending music and then lip syncing to that, but lip syncing poorly. So I have nothing against people who are lip syncing. I do lip syncing sometimes as well. But if you are going to lip sync, please make sure that the audio syncs up to your video. This is so important, especially as a beauty influencer. Your focus is to create really great makeup videos. So the product is the makeup. You want people to see the makeup. So if you are distracting people with your terrible lip syncing, I will not watch the entire video, and there are other people just like myself who will probably not watch the entire video because it is so off-putting to hear or to see that lag. On Instagram Reels, it's a little bit different because most of the time you are not really watching IG Reels with the sound on. It's all defaulted to mute. But TikTok, for example, used to be Musical.ly, so it's a music platform, in which case that everybody will watch it for the sound matching your video. With lip syncing, you also want to make sure that the mood matches your tone, because if the song that you picked is really upbeat and you look like you just got ran over by a bus and you look so solemn, then it's a huge mismatch. And here's some benefits to not lip syncing. Creating transitions are so much easier if you decide not to lip sync. When you're creating those transitions, you have a couple things you have to remember, obviously, and that is to make sure you remember to do transitions. If you're making a compilation video, for example, every single time that you do a makeup look and then film it each time. But then if you're cutting it while you are, filming a tutorial or remembering to do a transition that works really cool for your video, and then you are lip syncing at the wrong beat with the transition as well, you're spending a lot of mental energy on things that really don't matter. Because if you just took out that factor, the fact that you have to remember to do this extra 3 steps of lip syncing, memorizing the lyrics, having to sync up the audio, say it properly while you're in the midst of doing this insane, complicated 3-hour makeup, then you can save yourself a lot of time and mental preparedness for the next 3 things that you have to do. First of all, completing your makeup, then taking photos, then filming yourself, and then editing things. So don't overcomplicate it. If you are very used to lip syncing, or if you want to do partial lip syncing, that's fine. But just make sure at the end of the day that lip sync matches, or else I'm sorry, but it's so cringy to watch. And if it's done well, it's good. But if you watch it back and your lips are not matching every single word that is coming out of your mouth, of your mouth, and the audio, can't even speak. Lip sync needs to be synced, or else you're just lipping. Okay, the next one. Stop putting random audio that doesn't match the tone of your video. And I'm talking about your facial expressions. Okay, there are different types of videos that you can make for the mood. You can choose the mood before you get into it. If you know that you are not a bubbly person and you're not gonna be like all over the place, you're not gonna be making facial expressions, then pick a music that is more mellow. If you are gonna be badass, then pick a badass song. But don't have one mood, like you're acting mellow, and then have some like hardcore metal thing, like metal music happening in the background. You know, that's just not working. I've seen a lot of people maybe use mellow music and then overperform, overact, get really up front into the camera and pull their face, and it's just so overly slapstick and theatrical to the point where it's also a little bit cringy to watch. So just be really, really careful that your mood and your audio, those two things are matching. Pretty important. Almost as important as lip syncing and making sure the audio is the same. The next one I know may be a little bit controversial because I know there's a lot of people out there who are doing this, but I believe, in my humble opinion, that people should stop lip syncing to other people's story times. I know people have literally built brands or like niches around talking about other people's story times in order to get viral. But honestly, just by being alive, just by going through life, you are so much more interesting as a character, as a person, than anything or character that you make up. Just be yourself. Tell a story that is actually meaningful and talks about something in your life, as opposed to just regurgitating and lip syncing to someone else's life. First of all, why would you spend the energy and the time to memorize the lines of someone else's life story and then lip sync to it with a makeup tutorial that absolutely has nothing to do with the story? You're not allowing people to connect with you. You're just keeping people on your video in order for them to watch the whole video through and through, comment on someone else's life. So it seems to me that the purpose of a social media influencer, content creator, is to connect with their audience, is to make that level of trust and authentic connection happen. And if you are not talking about your life with people, that makes you kind of like a gossiper. For example, if we were just sitting and we were chilling on the couch and all you did was talk about everyone else's story but your own, I would at the end of the day know nothing about you. Even if your makeup is fly, yeah, cool, and your video goes viral, yeah, cool, but like at the end of the day, you're not making a solid connection. People don't know anything about you. So talk about your stories. You have really interesting stories to tell, and I want to hear it. Next common mistake I see people doing when creating TikTok videos or IG Reel videos is the fact that they're only copying trends and copying what other people are doing. They're not creating any original content that would make them a trendsetter. They're just looking for things to imitate, which is fine on some level because the platform is kind of made to be copy-pasted, you know, following trends, you know, having fun. But there's some people who are literally like, first of all, not crediting people when they're doing something that another person has come up originally. And more than that, they're continuing to do that as part of their brand to copy as many trends as possible. And if that's the only thing that you're doing and you're not creating any original content, any new styles of videos, transitions, tutorials, styles of videos, and you're not looking at your own work in an original way, then no matter what you do, you will never become that trendsetter that you want to hit. You'll always become a trend follower. And that's not exciting, you know? You want to get to the point where you become the person that everyone goes to. You become the page that everyone goes to in order to find inspiration, in order to find like cool new ways to interact with your audience. You have to become the original script writer and the director and the producer. Produce new things. Don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to try. It's very courageous to try something, have it fail, and then realize that probably that doesn't work. But on the off chance that you create something new, it's so rewarding to say, hey, like this is a style of video that I've created for myself. So something that I've personally done is maybe I've been inspired by someone else's work before. I want to kind of imitate the way that they're doing a certain thing because I think it was successful for them and I think that I would like to try it on my own. First of all, credit them, and second of all, make it your own if you want to continue doing that. You know, there's different ways of, you know, imitation being the greatest form of flattery. There's different ways to emulate that. One is just straight up copying and pasting, and that's no fun. And then the other way is taking something and then changing it into your own special thing, developing it into something new. So that's definitely something you can do if you feel like you're not someone who comes up with new ideas really easily and you would rather just continue to follow trends. But I know you have it in you, so definitely go ahead, try, experiment, fail, learn from your mistakes, and then keep on going. Moving on to the next thing that people really need to stop doing when they film videos is, oh my god, they need to stop filming with terrible lighting and a greasy camera. I would like to introduce to you a little friend of mine. This is a microfiber towel. It's used to wipe lenses, for the camera, for the glasses. It works to clean your grease off of your phone before you do any of your shoots, because when I see that there is a glow and it's not coming from a sunlight in your video, it's because there is oil on your lens and it is lowering the quality of your video before you've ever shot anything. So make sure that it is clean and you have ample lighting. Stand in front of a window, get a circle light, get some video LED lights. Check out my Amazon store where I got some video lighting suggestions and recommendations. It's in the description box, so right now go check it out. Lighting makes a huge difference. I film everything on my phone except for the YouTube videos. I do that on a DSLR, but the stuff on my phone comes out to be well lit and good quality. Not the ones on my spam account, because I for sure do not do good lighting on that, but that's because I really don't care. But please make sure that you're not making your camera struggle with low lighting, because the lens can only pick up so much. Next thing you guys need to stop doing is stop begging for people to follow you. Stop begging for people to bump up your post, and please don't let it flop, because if your post is good, people are going to support you regardless. If your post is not as good and maybe they feel bad for you because, you know, you've been working really hard and you really put a lot of effort into it, they might like that post and share that post just for that time, but then in the long run, that's not gonna really get you anywhere. You can't beg every single video for people to make sure that this video doesn't flop and that it's how many hours you spend on it. You know, there's a lot of creators out there who spend a lot of time on their videos as well. So what makes you stand out? What makes you different? Just play it smarter than what you're doing right now. And what I mean by that is just like, make sure if your videos are not really performing very well to look at your library of videos and figure out what exactly you might be doing wrong. Like, have you really taken a look at your own set of videos and figured out why some of the videos are not performing as well? Is it a engaging video? Is it gonna get an emotional response? You know, just make sure to check out that video. I'm gonna point it out again about the video content types and styles that you want to hit. But please, if you are desperate for likes, people can sense it and it smells bad. If you feel like you're really wrapped up in the toxicity of numbers, step back, do an analysis, figure things out, and come back with a fresh mind. Moving on, stop creating extra long intros, especially those people who are lip syncing in their intros for transition or transformation videos. And I'm talking about the types of videos kind of like this where you are doing a makeup transition where you have no makeup on and then you swipe the screen, or you do a transition where you flip your hair or you get up or something and you end up having makeup on after. The point is the transition. So if you are dilly-dallying on your way to the transition, people are going to lose their attention and they're probably going to scroll away, especially because there's so many transitions out there. And yeah, not every single transition video is going to make it. Sometimes there are a couple of transition videos that do end up going viral, but not always, especially if you're doing them often. So get to the point, get to the punchline. You don't want to just string people along unless you're able to create some sort of an anticipation so that people are really excited about what's coming up. But most of the time, if it's just music and you're like, music is playing, and then you're like, hold on, wait for it, transition's about to come, I guarantee you I've scrolled. I won't be able to see the transitions at that point because I know something is coming, but I'm really not patient to wait for it. So make sure that you cut your intros a little bit shorter and get to the point. Next up, stop making videos that are inaccessible to everyone. And what I'm talking about is so simple. Add closed captioning. There are people out there that are hard of hearing, that are deaf, that simply want to watch things on mute. And if you do not put closed captioning, then you are not allowing people like that to be able to watch your video and they will just scroll. And that is one person, one view that you are losing. So make sure you're making videos accessible to everyone at the subtitles. And I will say on the videos that have subtitles, even if they're not as engaging, I will kind of watch them a little bit longer than I normally would just because they have text on the screen. So the benefits of having a closed caption is also to keep people's attention on the video, something to read on top of watching the video and listening. You're just giving them an extra source of information, an extra way to grip their attention. So it's really just benefiting you as a creator, and also you're making it accessible to people who aren't able to hear or lip read what you're saying. Also, it kind of helps if you have an accent and that's a little bit difficult to understand. So put closed captioning. It's really not that hard. And on the topic of accessibility, make sure to stop using the flashing lights effect without putting trigger warnings. The flashing lights effect, this one I'm talking about on TikTok, it even gives you a disclaimer beforehand that it may be an effect that could potentially trigger seizures in people who are susceptible to them or have epilepsy. So you have to be very, very careful if you're using that effect to just warn people in the caption or right before it starts happening that there is a flash warning. You really don't want to be the cause of someone else's seizures because we didn't put a warning before that. Just put text on there and make it obvious so people don't miss it. Another thing that people need to stop doing when they're creating videos, because it's definitely stopping them from growing on social media, especially on TikTok, is stop creating content that is random and then wondering why people are not following you. And that means you need to niche down. You need to figure out why your page is special, why people want to even come to your page over and over again. Is it an educational thing that you're providing? Is it inspirational content? Are you an entertaining figure that people would constantly come back to watch videos of? If you're posting just random things and nobody really cares, and when they're watching your video they're not watching the entire thing because they're copies of other people's trends, there's no original content, there's nothing that allows them to get to know you as a person or want to come back for you and your content, then that's probably a sign that there's nothing to keep people there. Make a quick analysis. Look at your page. And can you tell me what your page is about in a sentence? Can you tell me what your page gives as value to someone who is arriving there? For example, if someone comes to my TikTok page, they know that I am a creator who uses avant-garde makeup to create very entertaining videos with my husband, with relatable skits, and more importantly, to inspire people with very cool makeup, very maximalist, geometric, fashion-inspired makeup. On YouTube, people know me as the person who does avant-garde makeup, teaches high-end retouching, and also provides content growth tips. And on Instagram, I'm known as the beauty influencer coach who constantly provides new and aspiring beauty creators with advice on how to best grow their platform. So in every single one of my platforms, I have a similar but slightly tweaked brand or niche so that people know what to expect when they get there, that all my content follows that sort of niche and brand, and I'm not randomly posting things that are outside of that. Because if I do start randomly posting everything, I'm not a celebrity or anything, then people will probably unfollow me or decide not to follow me in the first place. So you could have one video go viral and wonder why no one is following you after that. It's because your content probably doesn't give them enough information about what to expect from you or something that would capture their interest to make them want to click that follow button. So you're not getting that conversion that you probably want. And finally, this is a small logistical thing. Stop putting text in the areas where it gets blocked off by your caption, by the buttons on the side that people use to like, or it gets cropped off when you put it on Instagram. So make sure that your text is fully visible. It doesn't have to be ginormous. It doesn't have to take a lot of real estate on your screen. It just needs to be there, visible, easy to read, and there on the screen long enough for me to actually read it. But if you have it too low where it gets blocked by the caption, or it gets cropped when you put it on IG Reels in the preview so that people don't see the entire screen, they just see a little, I think it's like 3x4 or 4x5 preview of the screen, then you are again making it inaccessible to a certain group of people, but also you are making it distracting to watch because I'm trying to read something and I can't. So I'm just trying to figure out what your video is saying, even though the focus should be the content that you spent so long putting together. So hopefully you'll be able to create even better videos than you already are by stopping these habits and making sure that you are focusing on the right thing, you are niching down, you are making sure your video quality is higher because you are cleaning your lanes and cleaning your camera. So go forth, create lots of videos, and if you want more tips, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you know what is coming up here, and also make sure you click the thumbs up button and leave a comment below on future video requests, and I will try to make that happen for you. As usual, stay creative everyone, and I will see you in the next one. Woo, 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 woo. Dun 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 dun. It's in the middle of my face.